Okay, so here we have the chest cavity, and the pink balloon represents the diaphragm. The blue balloon inside the top of it is the lung. Let me fix that. Okay, fixed. So the diaphragm assists the lungs by creating the force to open the lungs. Close, push, expel the air, bring the air in, expel. Well, inflate the lung, deflate the lung, inflate the lung. Focus. Inflate the lung, deflate the lung, inflate the lung, deflate the lung. So we have our new balloon. Stretch it out, and just a normal a normal breath. Not forcing it. And then we'll take our string, wrap it around the widest part. Got that. And now take the string and measure with our ruler. Okay, so that is 55 total centimeters. Okay, find my pencil. Okay, now using a forceful breath to fill up the balloon. Better. Okay, and measure that. So got to about 50, about almost 60. Alright, so we'll do that 4 more times, so a total of 5. Okay, so we have the paper. Focus at all. Of course not. Well, okay, I'm not going to focus on that. So the tidal lung capacity is the volume of air that is inhaled and exhaled during a normal breath, quiet breath. Vital is the max amount of air that a person can exhale from their lungs after full inhalation. Residual lung capacity is the amount of air remaining in the lungs after a normal passive exhalation. Total lung capacity is the maximum amount of air that the lungs can hold after a forceful inhalation. And we have the table with our different trials. It does not want to focus today. There's that. Try each of them 5 times. Obviously, the vital lung capacity is a bit better. And the average for the trials for the tidal lung capacity for just the balloon diameter was 54.2. The average for the volume of air in cc's would be 83,367.44. For the vital lung capacity, which is the max for using a forceful breath, after 5 trials, the average was 60.4, and the volume of air in cc's was 115,374.4. How did your tidal and, well, got all that. It is not wanting to focus in any way. How did your tidal and vital lung capacity differ? Vital was higher because the lungs were working harder, longer, and needed to inflate more to compensate. I probably have worse lung capacity than others. The next question is, like, if you compared it with other people, mine's probably worse because I am a current smoker. I used to vape, all that. An athlete. The next question is about an athlete's vital lung capacity. The athlete is gonna probably have better lung capacity because they are used to exercising, working their lungs, and for a longer amount of time. Cigarettes, it won't allow the lungs to inflate as well, and there's probably going to be the crackling. They're going to get tired faster, easier. They just won't expand to capacity at some point. What is the function of the respiratory system? To provide oxygen to the body. How does the diaphragm function in respiration? Helps the lungs to inflate and deflate. How do the alveoli function in respiration? They are inside the lung itself and gets inflated and deflated with breathing. Describe how the respiratory system is closely linked with the cardiovascular system. And the respiratory system keeps the cardiovascular system working and keeping up with or slowing down to account for changes. And what factors would influence respiration? Explain why. Smoking, vaping, asthma, all that good stuff keeps the lungs from being able to work at its peak performance. All right.